আমার মোবাইলটা আমায় দিয়ে দাও প্লিজ।
Okay, we're just going to wait for Dr. Mustafa Khattab to come back, and I think everyone is ready.
I'm ready. He's here.
Okay. Just somebody give me the heads up, and I'll start the broadcast so people can start joining. Right? Okay.
Yes, Bismillah.
Bismillah.
Yeah.
We're just going to wait a few more minutes.
Sure,
until
no problem.
Our attendees. Right now we're at 33.
Is it okay if I drink my tea now?
Yes, yes, yes. Take your tea, coffee,
Biryani.
biryani, baklava.
At your own expense.
What is Egyptian? You are Masri, right? So what is the Egyptian specialist?
Kushari.
Okay, so have that, inshallah.
على حسابك يا دكتور.
That's Allah Taysir. I love biryani, man.
برياني على حسابنا إن شاء الله.
Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair.
بارك الله فيكم. حتى وأنا بحب أكل محشي يا أوكي.
طبعا.
have also
Whether Shamil good?
Yeah, I think we can start now.
Okay. Okay. Bismillah walhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah thumma amma ba'd. Dear brothers and sisters, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. On behalf of ICNA Relief Canada, we would like to welcome all of you to this Ramadan webinar series. Today is our first episode, inshallah, and we are honored to have Dr. Mustafa Khattab with us, inshallah, as our guest speaker. And every Sunday, starting from today at 5 p.m., we will have this special Ramadan webinar, inshallah, for you for about 1 hour. And in each episode, different speakers will come. You can see on the screen Dr. Hamid Silemi, Dr. Munir Al-Qasim, Sheikh Shabir Ali, and Sheikh Ahmed Shihab. So without further delay, you can see this is the program for us today. We'll start with the recitation of the Quran, then welcome remarks will be done by ICNA Relief Canada's chair, Brother Muhammad Ijaz Tahir, and then I will do a very brief presentation on ICNA Relief Canada's activities. and then we'll request Sheikh Mustafa Khattab to present his presentation for us, and I believe it will be a very powerful and motivating speech, inshallah, and none of you will be disappointed. It will be energized, inshallah. And there will be a few announcements before the dua, and at the end we'll ask Sheikh Khattab to make a special dua. And that is our program for today. May I request Brother Musa Faridi, one of the young Hufaz, to recite from the Quran. Brother Musa Faridi.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون أياما معدودات فمن كان منكم مريضا أو على سفر فمن كان منكم مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر وعلى الذين يطيقونه فدية طعام مسكين فمن تطوع خيرا فهو خير له وأن تصوموا خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصم ومن كان مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر ولتكملوا العدة ولتكبروا الله على ما هداكم ولعلكم تشكرون وإذا سألك عبادي عني فإني قريب أجيب دعوة الداع إذا دعان فليستجيبوا لي وليؤمنوا بي لعلهم يرشدون صدق الله العظيم.
Jazakumullah khair, Brother Musa Faridi, for wonderful recitation. He recited from Surah Al-Baqarah from ayah number 183 to the ayah number 186, and it is all about Ramadan. At this point, I would like to request the chair of ICNA Relief Canada, Brother Muhammad Ijaz Tahir, to bring his welcome remarks. Brother Ijaz Tahir.
I think you're on mute, brother. Yeah.
Please unmute yourself. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulullah. Thank you, Brother Imam Tariq, for inviting me and putting all this together. And I pray from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He accepts this effort from you brothers, from all of us. On behalf of ICNA Relief Canada, its team, I'm really thankful to all those who have joined in, and especially the team who has put this series of webinars together. This is our humble effort to actually engage ourselves and engage our community in this difficult time. And I know, and we all know, that this Ramadan is going to be very different than any other Ramadan probably we have found ourselves in our life. So we are trying to, as I said, engage ourselves and community, and also keep the spirit of Ramadan not only alive but strong. So that's why this series has been put together, and I hope that everyone involved gets a full benefit of it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept this effort from us. Again, thank you very much on behalf of ICNA Relief and its team. And over to Brother Imam Tariq. Thank you.
Jazakumullah khair, Brother Muhammad Ijaz Tahir, Chair, ICNA Relief Canada. At this time, it is my job to introduce to you the organization who is behind today's program, and that is ICNA Relief Canada. I will take a few minutes. For all of your information, this program is being broadcast through Zoom. Many of you join here, and all of you are muted. Only speakers can talk, but hopefully you are listening, all of us, clearly and seeing us as well. And at the same time, this program is being broadcast at a parallel time through YouTube. So anyone who could not see, who could not join our program now, or would like to see it later on, go to our YouTube site, or you can go to our Facebook as well. Jazakumullah khair. So about ICNA Relief Canada. So ICNA Relief Canada is a branch of ICNA Canada, a registered charitable organization, and a registration number is in front of you. ICNA Relief Canada is committed to providing leadership in the empowerment of lives, the creations of meaningful opportunities, and strengthening the bonds that link all of humanity. ICNA Relief Canada is committed to human service through the effective integration of resources to help people in need. We strive to provide immediate response in times of disaster and to implement programs that alleviate human suffering. The brothers and sisters, ICNA Relief Canada works locally in Canada as well as globally. Internationally, we do have over 10 programs and in over 22 countries. With your support, every year we sponsor over 5,300 orphans. We are providing healthcare services to over 1 million people every year from our own hospitals and clinics in different countries, including Bangladesh, Pakistan, and Rohingya camps. Our Water for Life projects ensures access to clean water to over 1.5 million people. Our partners are always on the ground, especially after any natural disaster or any immediate need to implement our projects with the support of your kind donation. Our educational relief helps over 6,000 students to get quality education every year. One of the successful story of ICNA Relief Canada is this: an orphan through the orphan sponsorship program, as well as educational relief. From grade 1, he later on became Hafiz, as well as a medical doctor and serving humanity because of your $1 per day orphan sponsorship program. Of course, we do have more program, but I don't have time. In Canada, we do have 10 food banks across the country, and we serve every year over 50,000 Canadians in need with food baskets every month. Our settlement and refugee sponsorship program, which actually I look after usually, I'm the lead person of this project. We help to bring 88 refugee families to come to Canada and help them to be settled in over 15 cities across Canada. And more families are on way to come and find Canada their home. Our healthcare projects supports our local hospitals in Brantford, Mississauga, Brampton, and Scarborough. And we do have plan to expand it with your support across Canada. Now, all of us, we do know this program we are doing from home because COVID-19. And from the mid-March, the Canada has been affected and we went for shutdown, school has been closed. But everything was closed, ICNA Relief Canada was not. Immediately, ICNA Relief Canada responded to the COVID-19. Immediately in March, the third week of March, we donated over $274,000 to different hospitals to buy essential equipments, to buy the ventilators, cardiac monitors, and so on and so forth. There are different essential equipments. And we serve, as of now, every day with your support, we are serving food baskets. And as of now, over 8,000 families received food baskets in response to COVID-19. And also we are providing counseling services. And you can see some numbers here updated. Emergency relief, the food basket, this is for hospitals. So which hospitals get what? Trillium Health Foundation got 154,000. William Osler Foundation, Brampton, they got 70,000. Brantford Hospital, they received 50,000 to buy essential equipment such as ventilators, cardiac monitors, intensive care beds, and ventilator analyzers. Also for hospitals, we are also providing the meal supplies for the healthcare people, and also there are other programs coming to continue our support for hospitals. But not in Canada. At the same time, we are serving global community, especially international communities in different countries, including India, Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh, Rohingya camps, Syria, Turkey, Yemen, Lebanon, Kashmir, Sri Lanka, Sierra Leone, Somalia, and Kenya. People are suffering because of shutdown everywhere. They do not have earnings and they do not have access to food. Our team, our international partners, with your donations, make sure that these people are receiving food. And as of now, it is 3 days old, the report. At that time, internationally, over 7,000 people received food baskets. In Canada, remember I said 678 last Thursday, and application process 840 baskets. Each basket costs minimum $50, and medium family is receiving $75, and large family is receiving $100 food basket with daily essentials. We are also providing counseling services with professional counselors, and 31 individuals receive counseling services through our professionals in last few weeks. Dear brothers and sisters, Ramadan is coming. And many of us, usually we used to donate when we were in the masjid and we were hoping to be in the masjid. But this Ramadan will be special. This Ramadan will be at home. But Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to be always generous. In Ramadan, he used to be more generous. Ramadan is month of generosity. We supposed to pay zakah in Ramadan to maximize our reward. Then we give fidya in Ramadan, we give fitra in Ramadan, and those are part of our daily routine of Ramadan. How can you maximize your Ramadan, and how can you help ICNA Relief Canada to ensure your donation goes to the right people? Here are some programs. Number one, you can sponsor one orphan by only $1 per day. And that's the way you make your Ramadan special, by bringing positive change and giving hope to an orphan. $1 per day. Our food baskets, you see, $10 is minimum needs for our one-day food. And by giving $10 per day or $300 for Ramadan, you can ensure someone will have the meal in the suhoor time and iftar time, globally, in Canada as well. So sponsor at least one of our food baskets for whole month. If you are giving zakat, fidya, fitra, kafara, sadaqa, ICNAReliefCanada.ca is your easy location. Through our secure website, you can donate your zakat, fidya, fitra, kafara, and sadaqa, and we can ensure you two things. Number one is secure, and our admin cost is really low. Our admin cost is less than 5%. So, and any donation you make is fully tax deductible. So with this, I'm requesting all of you to listen and enjoy Dr. Mustafa Khattab, but at the same time, you can go and visit ICNAReliefCanada.ca and make the donation, as well as you can share this link with others. Refer this link, our website, with others, so then others can donate, you will receive the reward. So Dr. Mustafa Khattab is our guest speaker, and I'm going to invite him. But before that, his bio is in front of you, and it's a long bio, and this is the brief bio I received about him. So he is a person of accomplishment. Dr. Mustafa Khattab is a Canadian Egyptian authority on interpreting the Quran. He was a member of the first team that translated the Ramadan night prayers, Taraweeh, live from the sacred mosque in Mecca and the Prophet's mosque in Medina in 2002 to 2005. Dr. Khattab memorized the entire Quran at a young age and later obtained a professional ijazah permission in the Hafs and Asim style of recitation, with a chain of narrators going all the way to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He received his PhD, MA, and BA in Islamic Studies in English, with honors from Al-Azhar University's Faculty of Languages and Translation. He lectured on Islam at Clemson University, USA, held the position of lecturer at Al-Azhar University for over a decade, starting in 2003, and served as the Muslim chaplain at Brock University and University of Toronto, Mississauga, UTM, Canada. He is a member of Canadian Council of Imams, a Fulbright Interfaith Scholars, and NIERA Canada Outreach Specialist. He has served as an Imam in the USA and Canada since 2007, and is the translator of the Clear Quran and the Clear Quran for Kids, which just recently published, and I recommend you to buy the Clear Quran for Kids. Wonderful, wonderful translation. The author of the Nation of Islam 2011 and Outfoxing Fox News 2017, and contributor to the Encyclopedia of Muslim American History. His forthcoming works include Qamusul Quran, the dictionary of the Quranic vocabulary, and Shukran, an illustrated story for kids. So without further ado, dear brothers and sisters, it is indeed my honor to present to you our first episode of 5 episodes of Ramadan series program, and our first guest, Dr. Mustafa Khattab. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala wa ba'd. Jazakallah Imam Tariq and ICNA Canada for the kind invitation. I'm honored to be here. So inshallah, in the next 25 minutes, inshallah, I will share with you some reflections, what I like to call the big picture of the month of Ramadan. So by the end of this month, we'll come out with as many blessings and get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as much as we can, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. As usual, I like to begin with a story or two. And I always say a good story to a speech is like spices to biryani. It gives it ruh and it gives it life. So the first story is the story of Imam Malik, and they call it the story of Imam Malik and the elephant. Imam Malik, rahimahullah, Imam Dar al-Hijra in Medina, he didn't actually have an elephant. So what happened? Imam Malik was sitting in the masjid in his halaqah, and he was surrounded by hundreds of students, mashallah. So while he was speaking, someone came from outside and he said, everybody, there is an elephant in the city. The people of Medina were not familiar with elephants because elephants exist in Africa, they exist in India. And so basically the people of Medina were not very familiar with elephants. The Sahaba say that when an elephant was brought to Medina at the time of Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu, some of the Sahaba said, "Amin khalqillahi ma nara," because the elephant was huge. They were not very familiar with elephants, so they were surprised and they said, was this created by Allah? Like they were in shock. So when someone came in and he said, everybody, there is an elephant in the city, everybody, all the students of Imam Malik, they left the masjid, they left the halaqah, and they ran out to watch the elephant. So now Imam Malik looked and he only saw just one student. His name was Imam Yahya. Imam Yahya is the only student who remained in the masjid and he didn't leave with the others. So Imam Malik asked Yahya, why didn't you leave with the rest? Why didn't you go to see the elephant? And Imam Yahya, the student of Imam Malik, he said, yeah, Imam, I left my country, I left my people, I came a long way to see Imam Malik, not to see an elephant. We have a lot of elephants in the month of Ramadan that distract us from the main purpose of the month of Ramadan. So what we need to do, inshallah, before we start the month of Ramadan is to get ready, to have a strategy. I remember a brother in the US, I was an imam there for like 4 years. And I remember the first day, the first night of Taraweeh Ramadan, I'm getting ready, I'm lining up for Salatul Isha and Taraweeh. And this brother came to me, first night of Ramadan. And he said, yeah, Imam, I have a question. And I said, okay, what do you want? And he said, when is Eid? And I said, dude, we didn't even start Ramadan. What are you talking about? And this brother, of course, he was not ready for Ramadan. He was taken by surprise. He is the same person, the exact same person who came to me last day of Ramadan. And he would say, yeah, Imam, please make Eid tomorrow. I'm going to die if I fast another day. And I said, dude, I don't have the remote control for the moon in my hand. What are you talking about? He said, please make Eid tomorrow. We waited for announcements and alhamdulillah, they saw the new moon. And I said, you know, tomorrow is Eid. And this guy was, mashallah, dancing in the masjid and he was giving out candy. He was very happy. And the reason is he was not ready for Ramadan. He didn't have a strategy, just like many of us. Ramadan is a little bit different from the different acts of worship. And the reason is, let's say for Salah, namaz, we usually get ready for Salah, we make wudu, we wait for the time, we face the Qibla, or we drive to the masjid so we can pray. So we make a lot of preparations before we go and pray. Zakah, you make calculations, you look at the nisab, you see who are you going to give the money to, and so on and so forth. So basically, you make some preparations. For Hajj, same thing. 2 or 3 years in advance, you're saving money, you are applying for visas, you're getting your ihram clothes, booking tickets, hotel, and which company you'll go with. So a lot of preparations. Now for Ramadan, no preparations whatsoever, except for just going to the store, buying all the meat, buying all the rice and all the requirements for food. So basically, physically, we're ready, but spiritually, we're not. So people are taken by surprise. And this is why they don't get the full benefit of this month. So hopefully, inshallah, through today's little talk, little reflection and reminder, inshallah. Together we will maximize our hasanat, inshallah, in this month. I'm going to begin this section with another beautiful story that I personally like. And this is the story of a guy from Germany. It's a true story that happened in 2013 in Germany. There is an electronics store in the UK, in Germany, called Saturn. It's similar to, Best Buy and all those electric stores here in Canada. So basically, they were opening their store number 150 in Germany, and they picked one lucky winner from their Facebook fan page. And this lucky winner, he got an amazing prize. And the prize was, this is store number 150. When you open the store, we'll give you 150 seconds. You will go inside, you will have the cart, you take as many items as you want. 150 seconds, 2 minutes and a half. So this guy, Sebastian, he got ready. Start, you have 150 seconds, and in 150 seconds, 2 minutes and a half, he was able to collect items, electronic items, for 45,000 Canadian dollars in 2 minutes and a half. When he was interviewed after he collected all these items, and the interview is available on YouTube, he was asked, oh my goodness, how could you collect all these items in 150 seconds? How is this even possible? And he told them, because I had a strategy. And the strategy was, he put on his most comfortable clothes, his most comfortable running shoes. He went to the same store in other locations, because usually a store like Walmart or Staples or all these stores, usually the layout is about the same. So he got familiar with the location. He got familiar with where they kept all the expensive items like iPads, iPhones, Xboxes, all the expensive items. He knew what he wanted. He didn't worry too much about, lollipops and chewing gums or toilet paper. I know toilet paper now is more expensive than iPads, but anyway. So back then he focused on iPads and iPhones, Xboxes, the most expensive yet light items, and he was able to run out within 2 minutes and a half, 45,000 Canadian dollars worth of electronic items. So now, what is your strategy for the month of Ramadan? So you have to have a strategy for this month. We know that Rasulullah had a strategy for this month. Reading his sunnah, seerah, hadith, we know that Rasulullah did 3 things in the month of Ramadan, and this should be your focus in this month if you would like to achieve the most hasanat, get the closest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and get most of your sins forgiven, if not all of them. Because Rasulullah said, if you fast Ramadan hoping to get the reward with sincerity, then your past sins will be forgiven, inshallah ta'ala. So we have what Rasulullah did. We have the physical ibadah, of course, fasting, salah, i'tikaf. I know the masajid are closed this year, so there will not be any i'tikaf in the masjid. But let's say fasting and salah at home, you can do qiyamul layl at home with your family. Get someone like your son or someone to make adhan in the house 5 times, iqamah, and you pray together. So physical ibadah is number 1. The second type, which is the verbal ibadah. The easiest ibadah is what you do with your tongue. Reading Quran, dhikr, remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, dua, istighfar. And this is very easy, yet it generates a lot of hasanat. Number 3, we have what we call the financial ibadah. As Imam Tariq, Jazahullah khairan, said that this is a very special time. Rasulullah was extremely generous in the month of Ramadan, more than any other month of the year. Rasulullah would donate a lot in this month and make contributions more than any time of the year. We know that salah is multiplied in the month of Ramadan. Everything is multiplied in this month. If you pray one fard, let's say dhuhr, you get the reward of 70 based on hadith. If you pray one sunnah, you get the reward of fard. You do umrah in Ramadan, you get the reward of hajj. And in the same way, by way of qiyas analogy, if you give zakah sadaqah in this month, your reward will be also multiplied. We know that masajid, Muslim charities, they're struggling in this time because, it's a challenging time for everyone. So make sure, inshallah, you support ICNA relief, because they need your support, because they do amazing work for the community at large. So make sure, inshallah, you support them from your zakat and sadaqah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you the reward. Now, inshallah, we're going to look at the Sahaba of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what made them the best community among Muslim generations, because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Khayrul quruni qarni," the best generation among the Muslim ummah is my generation. And subhanAllah, when I look at this hadith and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the best generation is my generation, Rasulullah is talking about the generation of Abu Bakr and Umar and Uthman and Ali. And when I look at the word that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used, qarni, generation, my generation, as-Siddiq, Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, the last letter of his name, Siddiq qarni, the first letter of qarni. Umar, the last letter is Ra in Umar. Noon qarni refers to Uthman, the last letter of Uthman. And Ya qarni, the Ya refers to Ali radiallahu anhu, the last letter of Ali radiallahu anhu. But this is a small tadabbur reflection. So basically, if you would like to maximize your hasanat in this month, you have to do it like the Sahaba. Because you look at the experts, the best and the most professional, if you like to achieve something. And with regards to dunya, we do the same thing. So basically, if you like to play hockey, you're going to look up to Nazim Qadri. If you want to do cricket, you're going to look at Imran Khan. If you're going to play soccer, you're going to look up to Mo Salah. Boxing, Muhammad Ali. So basically, we look up to the giants and the professionals in the field if you like to be as successful as they are. So the shining stars of Islamic history are the Sahaba of the Prophet ﷺ, because they were getting the light from the Siraj al-Munir, the shining lamp, Rasulullah ﷺ. So there's so much we can learn from the Sahaba, but because of the time, I got another 15 minutes, inshallah. So we're going to focus on 4 strategies that the Sahaba of the Prophet ﷺ used. Number 1, and they are very practical and you can do them from home. Strategy number 1, sincerity. It always comes down to sincerity. The Sahaba of the Prophet ﷺ, the big giants, Al-Ashra al-Mubashirin bil-Jannah, Al al-Bayt, the people of Badr, the people who made bay'ah under the tree, Hudaybiyah, and those great Sahaba, they had the sincerity. If you look at the example of Khadija radiallahu anha, most of those who are watching us now, you prayed more Taraweeh than Khadija radiallahu anha. You prayed more 5 daily namaz than Khadija radiallahu anha. You made Hajj Umrah more than Khadija radiallahu anha, and so on and so forth. So basically, why is it so that Jibreel alayhi salam came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is mentioned in Bukhari, and he told him that Khadija radiallahu anha will be in an amazing place in Jannah, fi baytin min qasab, in a house made from pearls. Of course, Khadija radiallahu anha died in Mecca before Hijrah. So when she died, there was no 5 daily namaz, there was no Ramadan, no Taraweeh. She didn't do Hajj or Umrah because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did Hajj like 10 years after. So basically, why did she reach this position, although she didn't do Ramadan or Hajj or 5 daily namaz? How could she do it? And the ulama say because of her sincerity. She was very sincere. The same applies to Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. Whenever Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam spoke about the people of Jannah, he would say Abu Bakr is number 1. Then Umar, Uthman, Ali, and the rest of the Sahaba. Of course, some of the ulama like Ibn al-Qayyim, they say that Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu did not die shaheed like Hamza. He was not tortured like Bilal. And some of the Sahaba, they actually memorized more Quran than Abu Bakr. They prayed more than him. They fasted more than him outside Ramadan. How did he make it to this point? And Ibn al-Qayyim said, لِشَيْءٍ وَقَرَ فِي قَلْبِهِ, because of his sincerity. And that's all Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking from all of us. And this is something that we read in Surah Bayyinah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us in Surah Bayyinah that this is the only thing that I have requested from people from the beginning of time till the end of time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا أُمِرُوا إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ حُنَفَاءَ. They have been asked from the beginning to the end to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, being sincere to Him in all devotion. So that's all Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from us. So we have to have the good niyyah, we have to have the sincerity in everything that you do. Whether we're talking about praying your 5 daily namaz, giving zakah, sadaqah, doing your homework, exercising at home, playing with your kids, any activity that you do with a good intention, inshallah, it's counted as a ibadah for you. But you have to have the good niyyah. I'm going to give you a small story to illustrate, inshallah. This is a story, a true story of a guy. His name was Hamza. He was sitting in the masjid one day, a couple of days before Ramadan. It was the day of Jum'ah. And the Imam was asking people to donate to the house of Allah so we can, keep the masjid up and running. We can provide iftars to the people who will be coming for iftars to the masjid. And mashallah, everybody started to donate $10, $200, $500. Everybody donated whatever they could afford. This guy, Hamza, he was sitting there in the middle of the masjid. Allah blessed him with money, but he didn't want to give. Why? Because maybe he was mad at the masjid because a year before he ran for president, he got only one vote. Nobody wanted to vote for him. He got only one vote from his wife because he told her, if you don't vote for me, talaq. So she gave him one vote and eventually he lost. Now he's mad. He doesn't want to donate. So basically when everybody was donating, the donation box was going around. So Hamza took out his phone and he started to play games like Candy Crush or Fortnite. So the boxes were going around and someone from behind him, he gave him a bundle of money, maybe $2,000, $3,000. So Hamza, without looking, he's still playing with his phone. He took the money and a lot of money and he put it in the box and he continued playing with his phone. After namaz, Hamza was leaving and the guy from behind him was leaving too. And Hamza told the guy, thank you, you made a big donation. MashaAllah, Kareem, you're very generous. And this man told him, no, thank you. Because when you took your phone out, this money fell out of your pocket. I gave you the money that fell from your pocket and you took it and you put it in the sadaqah box. May Allah reward you for your generosity. That's a lot of money. Needless to say, Hamza is now at the Trillium Hospital. He had a heart attack. But anyway, the point here is, if you don't have the intention to do something purely for the sake of Allah, no reward. Hamza is not getting a reward for this money that went to the masjid because he didn't have the intention. He didn't have the ikhlas. So make sure you have the ikhlas. Number two, the Sahaba had what we call istidraku ma fat. This is a concept that we have in the Arabic language. So basically, you try to make up for what you missed in the past. Especially now, Ramadan is here. The rewards are multiplied. When we're young, mashallah, many of us, we had the Jahiliyyah years. We're not very particular with Salah. We're playing games. We're busy with dunya and so on and so forth. Now is the time. So the Sahaba would make up for all the things that they missed before they accepted Islam. Because believe it or not, all the Sahaba are new Muslims. They accepted Islam, right? So before Islam, they were not practicing. But once they accepted Islam, they promised to do their best and make up for what they missed in the past. One example before we move on, Amr ibn al-As, radiallahu anhu, before Fath Makkah, he came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to accept Islam, give bay'ah. So when Rasulullah put his hand out, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Amr took his hand back. And Rasulullah said, like, what's wrong? And he said, Ya Rasulullah, I have done so much evil in the past. I've fought against you at Badr, Uhud, and other occasions. I've done so much evil. I spent so much money to stop people from accepting Islam and to damage your reputation. And I feel like I have done so much, Allah will not forgive me. And Rasulullah reassured him, telling him something along the lines of, and this is in Sahih Muslim, no matter how big your sin is, it can never be bigger than the mercy of Allah. Allah's mercy is so vast. And he told him, Ya Amr, don't you know that once you accept Islam, your past is forgiven, you start a new sheet with Allah. Don't you know that when someone does their Hajj, then their past is forgiven? Long story short, Amr radiallahu anhu promised Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam Ya Rasulullah, for every dollar or dinar that I paid before Islam to stop people from accepting Islam, now I'm going to contribute 100 for that $1 to support you. And for every day that I fought against you, now I'm going to give all the time to support your cause. So Amr radiallahu anhu here is making up for what he missed in the past. Number 3, the Sahaba had an amazing strategy when they asked Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam questions. So they would ask Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ya Rasulullah, ma ahabbul a'mali ila Allah. And you will find this in many hadith. They would come and they say, Ya Rasulullah, what are the most beloved deeds to Allah? The things that please Allah the most, the things that bring us the closest to Allah. So basically, the Sahaba would ask these smart questions to gain all these hasanat. It was not like some in our times. Some ask good questions, but some ask crazy questions. And this is why some imams, they have heart attacks and they die. So one of those, crazy questions, I remember someone asking, Ya Imam, what color is the black stone? Another person would ask, Ya Imam, the question about jinn, do they give birth or lay eggs? And I said, dude, like, aapke saath koi mushkil hai. What's your problem? So when I get mad, I speak Urdu fluently. But anyway, the Sahaba would ask these important questions. And subhanAllah, every time Rasulullah was asked about the most beloved deeds to Allah, every time he gives a different answer. Why? Because Rasulullah ﷺ would look at the person who is asking the question and he will give them an answer that was most suitable for them. So if it was a rich person asking about the most beloved deed to Allah, and Rasulullah would say, make donations, support good causes, feed the poor, help the homeless. If it's a youth, Rasulullah would say, take care of your parents. If it's a poor person, Rasulullah would say, salah on time or fast. So Rasulullah would tell them something that was most relevant to them. Now, the Sahaba didn't stop at that, but they took it to the next level. And the next level was, they said, Ya Rasulullah, okay, you told us that zakah is the best thing that we can do. But what is the best type of zakat? They took it to the next level. And Rasulullah ﷺ would say, zakah or sadaqah to your poor relatives, So basically, we know Islamically, I'm not allowed to give zakah to my parents or my wife or my kids because I have to provide for them anyway. But other than these 3 types, I can give zakah to my poor brother or poor sister, poor aunt, poor uncle. I know you guys, many of you say aunt, and you confuse me because aunt is your relative, but the ant is the insect. So make sure, inshallah, you pronounce it correctly so you don't confuse me. I remember one brother, I was talking to him and he was sad, and I said, why are you sad? And he said, because his aunt just died. And I thought he was talking about his pet. He had an ant or something as a pet. And I said, dude, what is the best deal? What is the best deal? There are millions of those out there in my backyard. And this is a terrible way of ending a relationship with someone. He's not my friend anymore because he thought I was making fun of his aunt. But anyway, so basically you can give zakat, sadaqah to your poor relatives, brothers, sister, aunt, uncle, other distant relatives. And inshallah, as Rasulullah ﷺ said, في الحديث, Zainab, the wife of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, you will get 2 rewards for helping your family out and also for giving your zakah, inshallah ta'ala. When Rasulullah was asked about the best type, the best ibadah, and Rasulullah would say salah, and they would say, okay, salah is the best, but what is the best type of salah? And Rasulullah would say, salatun bil-layl, salah at night, la qiyam, witr. So they would take it to the next level. So make sure you focus on the things that bring you closest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, the last point, inshallah, we're almost done, 3-4 minutes. We know that Islamically, not all ibadat are the same. Just like all sins are not the same. We have sagha'ir and kaba'ir, small sins, and there are major sins. So let's say, for example, if you say a bad word, this is horrible, but let's say if someone commits zina or they drink, they do something haram, theft, this is a major sin. In the same way, holding the door for someone is a good deed, but giving sadaqah, zakat to the homeless, feeding the people who are struggling, reaching out to your neighbors, Muslim or non-Muslim, especially the elderly who are very vulnerable to the coronavirus and they can't go out for shopping, and if you buy stuff, groceries, and take it to the house, this is an amazing ibadah that you can do. So basically, not all the ibadat are the same. Now, when we look at the month of Ramadan, the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, and this is strategy number 4, the Sahaba understood the value of the special times and the special places, because not everything is the same. So, for example, the day of Jum'ah is the best day in the week. The day of Arafah is the best day in the whole year. Laylatul Qadr is the best night in the whole year. The Quran is the best revelation from Allah. Muhammad ﷺ is the best prophet. Jibreel alayhi salam is the best angel. Salah at the Masjid al-Haram in Mecca is the best salah because it gives you 100,000 rewards, more than any other masjid, like any local masjid that you pray at. If you pray one salah at the Haram in Mecca, 100,000. You pray at the Prophet's Masjid in Medina, 1,000. Al-Masjid al-Aqsa in Al-Quds, 500. You pray 2 rak'ah at Masjid Quba, you get the reward of Umrah, as Rasulullah ﷺ said. So basically, all these ibadat are not the same. Some generate more hasanat than others. Now we'll come to the point, in conclusion, what we call tawfiqul hidayah. You know that Ramadan is a special time. Laylatul Qadr is a very special time because Allah says in the Quran, Laylatul Qadri khayrun min alfi shahr. This is the time, the night when Ramadan, the Quran was revealed. So Allah says it's better than 1,000 months, which basically means if you pray one salah that night, let's say Salatul Isha, Allah will give you the reward of praying Isha for 84 years. Because 1,000 months is somewhere between 83 and 84 years. If you give zakah that night, 84 years. If you make dua, 84 years. So basically, this is an amazing incentive from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imagine if you work for a company and your boss tells you, if you work tonight 1 extra hour, then I'm going to give you a paycheck, your salary for 84 years. So how would you feel if you say, no, I don't have time for that, man? Some of us do the same thing. Laylatul Qadr, mashallah, all these rewards, all these hasanat, and mashallah, they're playing video games, they're watching movies, you know, they're playing cards. Man, this is not the time. We have to be smart when we deal with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so we can generate as many hasanat as we can. I have a friend, he told me when we used to go to Al-Azhar, he had a friend in Mecca. His friend lived in Mecca at that point for about 20, 25 years. And he told me his friend who was a resident of Mecca, he doesn't know what the Haram looks like because he never prayed in the Haram, not once. So imagine you pray one salah there, 800 salah in any other masjid. I have a friend I met in Edmonton, used to come to the Jama'ah there, and he said, you know, Imam, I used to work as a driver between Jeddah, Mecca, Medina for 16 years. 16 years. He never made Hajj, he never made Umrah. Now, after he moved to Edmonton, he was there for a number of years. Now he wanted to go, he had to save like $10,000. That was many years back. He had to save another $10,000 for his wife. His mom said, you know, like, aapke saath ko mushkil hai. You're taking your wife, you're not taking me, I have to go with you. So he had to save like, you know, $30,000, $40,000 to take the whole family with him. And he told me, you see, Imam, I was there for like 16 years. It never occurred to me to do Hajj. It wouldn't have cost me anything back then. Subhanallah. This is what we call tawfiqul hidayah, or hidayah to tawfiq, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will guide you to do the right thing in the right time. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us tawfiqul hidayah to do the right thing in this month. And as we said, if you want to do it the right way, do it like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the physical ibadah like salah, like fasting, verbal ibadah, dua, dhikr, remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can finish the whole Quran in this month. If you can read Arabic, alhamdulillah. If not, you can read the translation and Allah will give you the reward for doing your best. And finally, the financial ibadah, make sure you support good causes, you support your local masjid, you support amazing Muslim charities like ICNA Relief, inshallah. And we hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept our ibadah and give us the best and give us tawfiq wal hidayah in this month. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. I'm going to pass it over to Imam Tariq for a couple of announcements, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khair, Sheikh Mustafa Khattab, for a wonderful presentation. And I'm sure that each one of us, we learn many things, how to prepare for this Ramadan, to make this Ramadan unique and unforgettable, to maximize the benefit out of this Ramadan. Dear brothers and sisters, as you know, ICNA Relief Canada is the organizer of today's event, but today is the first day of our 5 events. And if you go to the ICNA Relief Canada, I hope you see the screen of my computer, icnareliefcanada.ca. You'll find all details, but if you click here, then you'll see the details of all our scholars who will be doing the presentation. So next Sunday, inshallah, it will be Dr. Hamid Silmi from Sayyida Khadija Center at 5 o'clock next Sunday. The following Sunday, Dr. Munir Al-Qasim, and then following Sunday, Dr. Shabir Ali and Sheikh Ahmed Shihab will be on the last one. Each one will be speaking on different subject. Dr. Hamid Silmi on serving humanity, Dr. Munir Al-Qasim, COVID-19 and our Ramadan, Dr. Shabir Ali, Quran and Ramadan, and finally, Dr. Sheikh Ahmed Shihab will be talking on Laylatul Qadr. Dear brothers and sisters, I would like to see on my chat box, if you are participating through Zoom, if we see anyone is interested in sponsoring any orphan. So I would like to see how many of you are sponsoring an orphan, or how many of you actually is sponsoring our Ramadan food basket. So if you are interested, just because you need to do it through our website, donate through website, but you can message here, or you can make it private and you do your own, we'll still get it. One final appeal, and that's it, and we'll make the special dua. We'll request Dr. Khattab to make a special dua for everyone, especially one of my closest friend, his and her uncle passed away just last night, and funeral took place just before, after Zuhur today. So they are requesting for a special dua. So dear brothers and sisters, the final appeal is this: orphans are still orphans, and they do not have anyone when even in the lockdown. The needy are more needy when lockdown is taking place. Many of us, we lost the job, we have financial problem, it's true. But people who do not have anything, well, they are going to get something. So this is food for thought for everyone when we are in difficulty and we are thinking of those brothers and sisters who are already suffering, and in this time, how difficult their life would be. So with your $1, with your $10, with your just little invitation and forwarding our website to others, it will make huge change into those people's life. And with that, I will request Dr. Khattab to move on for the dua, inshallah. Jazakallah khair.
Barakallah feek. So we start by making dua for the brother who passed away. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive his sins and to elevate his rank in Jannah. We ask him to, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to give him the shafa'ah of the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and to give him Jannatul Firdaus. Ameen, ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. So we'll conclude with a dua. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless all of you and protect all of you and your families. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us a blessed Ramadan. Ya Allah, protect all of us from the coronavirus. Ya Allah, protect all of humanity and keep everyone safe and sound in these challenging times. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the reward in the month of Ramadan for our fasting and our qiyam at night and our zakah and sadaqah and reading Quran and dua. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the best Ramadan ever. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya Allah, give us sincerity in everything we say and do. Ya Allah, forgive all Muslims, those who are alive and those who passed away. Ya Allah, give shifa to those who are sick. Those who are looking forward to get married, Ya Allah, make it easy for them. And those who are desperate to have kids, may Allah bless them with amazing Muslim kids. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the best in this life and the best in the life to come. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen.
Ameen.
ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا وأخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. يا الله تقبل منا صلاتنا وصيامنا وصدقاتنا وسائر أعمالنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم شفع فينا القرآن والصلاة والصيام. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصل اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وجزاكم الله خير.
Jazakumullah khair. Thank you so much. For webinars, we need to do registration. So please go to our website and do the registration. May I request Brother Shaukat, Executive Director of ICNA Relief Canada, to say thank you to everyone, inshallah. If Brother Shaukat is available. If he's not available, on behalf of ICNA Relief Canada, on behalf of ICNA, on behalf of the organizer team, I would like to extend our sincere gratitude to all of you to participating in it, especially Sheikh Mustafa Khattab for your wonderful presentation and motivating us. Jazakumullah khair, and wish all of you a great and happiest, peaceful, fruitful, meaningful, functional Ramadan. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum. See you next Sunday at the same time, same room, 5 o'clock here with Sheikh Hamid Silmi. Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.